one of us. And she said that within the next few months, not thousands or lakhs, but lives will be lost in crores. Crores of lives will be lost in India. And in the article that we saw later published, it says on Saturday, officials reported nearly 350,000 new infections, and the deaths continue to rise. At one hospital in New Delhi, the capital, doctor said 20 patients in critical care unit had died after oxygen pressure dropped. The doctors blamed the deaths on the city's acute oxygen shortage. The next slide, please. Yes, thank you. So here we have another article that is also talking about the death toll, and it says that India posts highest death toll in pandemic so far. Really, we are seeing so many underreported deaths, and that's the crime of the whole thing. Because today, as we look back, who is being held accountable for the lives that are lost, which are not even counted? But there's so much of suffering that is going on. There's so much of loss that people are feeling. People whose family members had died, whose neighbors had died, whose mothers, fathers, relatives had literally died in the worst way possible. And yet that suffering is not recognized even in a simple number report or count. How can this be justified? And who is being held accountable? India reported the coronavirus pandemic highest single daily death toll on Wednesday, which was 4,529, with the virus raging through the country's rural regions. The previous deadliest day for a single country was the United States, recorded in the United States in January, where 4,468 people died. Many reports believe in the number of deaths in India are even higher but underreported. And evidence has emerged across the country of large number of deaths of people dying and from COVID-19 who have been officially counted. This is actually from the New York Times, which this article is quoting. You can go on to the next slide, Mark. As you can see here, the devastation of COVID-19 in even the quarries, the cemeteries, and the burial grounds is absolutely unsubstantiated, meaning it was absolutely shocking. We heard the stories of all of the people, of the workers from the cremation grounds, the business, the leaders of the cremation grounds who own these grounds and are seeing so many hundreds of bodies and bodies lining up. This actually shows that 2 and 2 don't match up. Something doesn't quite add up here. While on one side, the media is talking about a very low death rate and not that many people being saved, the cremation grounds, the evidence that is happening there shows even a backlog in the number of deaths that is being reported, and shows even a backlog in the number of bodies that they have to cremate. Yes, as you can see, more visuals. These are from the devastating cremation grounds in India. The next slide. Yes, and this was revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who had revealed to us, all devotees and disciples, whoever listens to me, whom I don't need to convince. This is a personal message I'm giving to you all. Devi has very clearly revealed to me, in the Purattasi month, August and September, there's going to be the worst kind of third wave of corona. So that's just coming up right now as we are ending July. The next slide, please. I saw in the vision dead bodies thickly floating on Ganga. Not just Ganga alone, there are 4 rivers coming from Kailasa, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra. In all those rivers, I saw dead bodies are floating. Dogs eating those dead bodies and dying because they ate corona people. And the poor people who don't have any food, those dogs' dead bodies, and they are dying. I saw this whole cycle. I am not a constipated conspiracy theorist or positive thinking buffet. I see reality as it is, and I'm revealing it to you all as it is. And within just few months, we saw the articles and the evidence of how in India, on the riverbank of Ganga, there was so many different dead bodies. And here we have one of the articles that is showing this, where behind bodies found in riverbanks, a COVID shadow. Interviews with the next of kin, officials, eyewitnesses, and local residents in Unan and Gharipur revealed that behind bodies in long-held traditions, deep economic distress and sudden rush to lay the dead to rest. Here we are seeing how bodies are coming in scores, unclaimed, uncounted, and unidentified. Here we have India's holiest river, Ganges, is swollen with victims. Another really horrifying truth that is going on, a reality that is happening. Hundreds of corpses have been found floating in the river or buried in the sand of its banks. The next slide, please. Yes, we can go on to the next slide. So I request if we can now project the slide on immunity. So in this next segment, we'll be understanding even what Devi Parashakti recently had revealed, and we'll be understanding how she had revealed about the immunosuppression qualities and properties of COVID-19, and how after that we saw that literally scientists were recognizing that this was happening. Okay, we can have the slide share projected. So we can stay on this. The truth is that Devi Parashakti ultimately had revealed how millions and millions of people whose deaths are absolutely uncounted and nobody is being held responsible. Unfortunately, Devi Parashakti had even revealed that COVID is airborne, that people can contract the disease simply from the air. Here it says how, yes, we can go on. The Devi Parashakti said that even kids will be attacked the most, and they'll be very vulnerable during this time. So yes, she said that the next wave is attacking the kids more. That is what is happening, and that is what is terrorizing and frightening. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed, I cannot reveal more details. India's richest state was at the center of the second wave. Now it's preparing for a third wave. This is an article from CNBC, and this is on India's second wave, now preparing for a third wave. And here we have a lot of numbers. The western state of Maharashtra has so far reported more than 5.4 million cases, including 82,000 deaths from COVID-19, and some predict a third wave, which could hit India potentially between September and October. The next slide, please. And the truth is that we have to ensure we do not lower the guards. We prepare for the inevitable third wave. And here in so many articles are also saying, even though it is being anticipated that coronavirus cases could peak in mid-June in the city, experts have been warning against lowering the guards, as they say that the third wave of COVID-19 wave looks inevitable by October end. Not only that, but experts have further said that the third wave should be deadlier than the first two waves. And Maharashtra preps the third wave as COVID has we saw 8,000 children in one district being affected. Here we have, with more than 8,000 children catching the coronavirus in the month of May in Maharashtra's Ahmednagar, the state has started taking extra steps to minimize the effect and impact of a possible third wave of COVID-19 that may affect children more. In Maharashtra's Sangli city, a COVID-19 ward is being prepared especially for children, and currently 5 children are being treated here, and the facility is being prepared for more patients. And here we have another article saying the third wave of COVID-19 to impact children. Over 9,000 children test positive in Maharashtra. And again, with the fears of the second wave of COVID-19 still lingering, and now, at least in the current days, we are seeing one wave stopping, maybe settling down, but we are seeing so many warnings of the third wave coming. The experts have suggested that the third wave will severely impact children. If the virus changes its course of nature, the children will be largely impacted. Reports suggest that the virus has already impacted the children across the country in the second wave. Yes. So Devi Parashakti has literally given us the warning. And not only that, however, she has given us the protection. Devi Parashakti has ensured to protect all of her devotees. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has actually opened the Kailasa COVID care centers in India, from Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapitam as well as 12 other Adinams in India. And this is in order to protect anyone who is seeking protection at this time. And in just a few minutes after the next segment, we will be understanding from the administrators of Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapitam themselves the updates from the Kailasa COVID Care Center in India. And also now we'll be going into the next segment of today's program. And in this next segment, we'll be understanding the offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti. After we understood how each individual can ask a question, ask for healing blessings or anything, and then how Devi Parashakti has guided the whole humanity and given her protection, her most compassionate protection to anyone. Now, after that, Devi Parashakti has literally opened up so many different ways that we can immediately and instantly attain oneness in our lives. Now, I request if the offering slides can be projected, offerings to Devi Parashakti. So yes, while we get that sorted out, in the Hindu tradition, offerings are a way that you can experience the intimate, most beautiful oneness with the divine. So in this next segment, we'll be understanding the offerings you can make to Devi Parashakti. We'll be right back with you after a very quick break. Yes, completing with all the viewers for that technical difficulty. Now, let us enter into this next segment in today's program, the offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti. Now, in the Hindu tradition, Whether it is our birthdays, our anniversaries, our marriages, or if we're starting school for the first time, or if we're starting a business for the first time, whatever it is, we always are conducting or inviting the divine presence of God and goddesses, our Ishtadevata, our favorite deities, into our lives. We request for their guidance. We give gratitude for the amount of guidance they have given so far in our lives and helped us, protected us, helped us every single step of the way. And we have also we also ask and request, humbly pray for guidance in the rest of our lives, in the next step, or the new adventure, the new venture that we are taking up. That's one of the beautiful things about Sanatana Hindu Dharma. It's like literally practicing the presence of God in your life. And that is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving as the science of enlightenment. Now, through the ritualistic sevas that you can offer today, you can literally invite the divine into your life in a more intense, more immediate way, where literally they just start manifesting whatever you want, however you want it. Now, let's just understand the significance of offering. Offering is a giving of a divine gift, pure love, devotion, and oneness, and it consists of two parts. One is giving, and the second is accepting. Only when the divine accepts what one offers, the offerings become complete. Offering is not made out of fear or out of greed. When an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out for the purpose of enlightenment. Yes. Now, before we're entering into this segment, I would like to chant the Dhyana Shloka of Manonmani, the very beautiful, compassionate form of Devi Parashakti, the loving form of Devi Parashakti, who's sitting on the lap of Paramashiva. Induniva Veda Karavahinayanam Syat Pankajavaraಭಯ Japakshasarayuktam Angahimabhushana Vichitravasanam Syat Tungamukatojjvala Manonmani Swarupam. And the English translation next. Moonlight face holding the Vedas on hand and fire in eyes, with a lotus flower gracing and blessing hands in one hand with the Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining bright crown. Her name is Manonmani. Yes, and the next Dhyana Shloka. Dhyaye devim trinetram shashina bhavadhanam vedahastam dadanam savye padmam varadam apare chabhayam chakshamalam divyerabarana nirvibhushita tanum brahmadipi pujitam devimeva manonmanim pratidinam kamatradatrim shubham. And the English translation. I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes glowing like the moon and holding the Vedas, lotus and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments and she is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious blends, boons and blessings for all actions every day. Now, having invited the beautiful, graceful presence of Devi Parashakti here today, now we can enter into the next segment, enter into understanding the different offerings that we are making available today. Today we have so many exquisite, exciting offerings that you can make with so much of beautiful, sacred sentiment. In this day and age, as we have so many different kinds of sentiment, whether it's suffering or we have happiness and bliss, or we have the sentiments of feelings towards one another, There is nothing compared to the sacred sentiments, the powerful cognition, which help you manifest power in your life, help you go beyond even the limitations that you would never have even thought of, all kinds of impossibilities, and live a life of absolute possibility. The Vedic tradition provides the science of exactly doing this. And the science of rituals is a carefully crafted, beautifully delivered practice of literally living this science of enlightenment, living the science of practicing the presence of God. And one of the fundamentals, now what we're doing is first we'd like to create the foundation so we can understand why we are doing these offerings and what is actually needed in these offerings and how they can actually manifest what you want in your life. Now, in the significance of the divine element gold, this is a part of the fundamentals that we have to understand before we go into the rest of the offerings that are made. Now, in the Atharva Veda is one of the four of the Chatur Vedas, and one of the four Vedas that are actually one of the primordial scripts that is known to humankind. The Rig Veda has actually the oldest reference that is surviving today is at least more than 1,000 years old, making it the oldest scripture which is known to humankind. So the Chatur Veda are extremely old and significant scriptures that guide us to the life that we started out with, the life of the original Hindu civilization. In one of these Vedas, the Atharva Veda, lies the significance of the element of gold. Now, I'll just be reading out the translation for us today. It says that triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one, it becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apaha, the watery molecules. Who sees the vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents. And one they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apaha, let that triple gold be for your long life. Now, many of us already understand that gold has a lot of value in our society. We know this because the economy just supports this as a fact. But there's something more than what society has told us thus far. Gold actually has super powers, literally super conscious powers, where beyond what we know with the economic currency or any value that we add to it, there's so much more than what is happening or the gold itself as we know. Gold is a divine element. It purifies anything it touches, and it is an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Gold is present in all the scriptures, the Agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, and Puranas. In all Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold, and ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. And kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold, and horses and cows were dressed in gold. Now, if you see, all the living beings lived in coexistence, in beautiful, blissful coexistence in the Hindu civilization. And each one was dressed and adorned in gold because we saw the beautiful potential of gold in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Yes, and the Hindu civilization ultimately thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. In the Rig Veda, the Indus River was called the Hiranyamaya, and in the Atharva Veda, the river Saraswati was called the Hiranyavardhani. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. And temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked in gold and adorned in gold. Because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years. It lasts forever. Now let us enter into the array of offerings that we have. Exquisite, beautiful offerings that each and every one of you can offer today. Once again, this is a beautiful process of experiencing immediate results, experiencing immediate oneness in your life and beautiful connection with the divine. Especially now that we are in the presence of the divine and we are connecting directly to the Nijavatar, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is manifesting all these beautiful deities and energies, cosmic energies in our lives. It is ultimately the most powerful time to be able to connect to the divine cosmic being. So let us start with the E-Hundi offering. Now, this offering is a beautiful way that you can remove all fears inside of you, everything that is going on inside of you, which is not Paramashiva, which is not the ultimate. Simply drop it at the feet of Devi Parashakti today. Drop it at her feet and experience the true oneness. Now, can we go back to the previous slide, please? Devi Parashakti in the Lalita Sahasranama is described in such a beautiful way, how she is actually going through and how she literally accepts all the fears, all of the karma that you are dropping at her feet. She removes that and just makes it disappear. Amazing way, amazing, beautiful sacred sentiment. Everything that we feel is a burden, everything that we feel is karma, everything that we feel is pain inside of us, we just drop it. It's the feet of Devi Parashakti. Now, can we go back to the E-Hundi first slide? Now, I just like to chant the verse on yes, I just like to chant this verse. Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya Payapaha, Shambhavi Sharadaradhya, Sharvani Sharmadayini. Devi is fond of true devotion and she is the remover of all fears. The next slide, please. Yes, we can go on to the next slide. So yes, and Devi is very much known to be worshipped more so in autumn. Now, this does not mean the yearly autumn or the seasonal autumn that we ourselves experience, like fall, when all of the leaves fall off the trees. That's not what we're talking about here. In autumn of our lives in general, that's when our thoughts are turning more and more inward. That's when we are experiencing more and more introspection in our lives and trying to answer the existential questions that really pain us and pull us into so much of inner speculation. The role of the divine at this time is absolutely known and understood clearly. That is when the need for the worship of Devi becomes so much stronger. Now, you can offer this E-Hundi offering for any amount of money, and it's such a simple offering that you can do. And you can do right away. You can do through the YouTube super chat, or you can do through the registration forms. If you have a couple of questions on these and how to pay and how to make the donation that you'd like to make today, then you can you can just wait until the end of this segment, and we'll be proceeding further with how to exactly make these things. Yes, we can go on to the next slide. Yes. So the next offering that we have available for each and every one of you to make today is the Sankalpa chanting. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the Sankalpa is a Vedic chant which has such deep significance. In fact, it invokes all the energies, all the good energies of love, bliss, all the auspicious qualities inside of you. It requests the divine to remove all the different inauspicious qualities and help us transcend each and every one of those, including fears, greed, everything that might be stopping us. We request in this prayer to remove that and help us during this time, and help bless us for the ultimate prayers. Now, in the Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, verse 34, the verse for this beautiful chant, there I'll just be chanting the English translation. The goddess enchants this universe, and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives the knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. Once again, this is from the Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, verse 34. Yes, the Sankalpa chanting is such a beautiful way that you can just simply offer the Sankalpa. Your name will be chanted along with the Sankalpa, and it will be offered in your name to the divine. The next offering we have here, as you can see, is the Sahasranama Swarna Kasu. And this is another beautiful offering. And let me just explain that this is the offering of more than 1,008 names of Devi Parashakti. And it's a very special and unique archana offered to Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. And actually, it is very special because it is the offering of the gold coin inscribed with 1,008 names of Devi Parashakti. Now, in the chant, in the Lalita Sahasranama, verse 731, Devi Parashakti is described as Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes repetition of her various names. And this is the offering of 1,008 names of Devi Parashakti in a ode and tribute to that she likes. Why she likes it is actually very significant. Ultimately, in order to invoke that same energy inside of us, invoke that beautiful energy inside of us, Devi Parashakti guides us to chant the names of these beautiful Ananta Kalyana Guna and invoke that energy inside of us. That is actually what is happening during this Sahasranama Archana. And every time we offer the different names of Devi Parashakti, we are literally invoking that energy inside of us. So you can offer this very exquisite offering, the gold coin inscribed with each of the 1,008 names at the feet of Devi Parashakti. And each of these are the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti. Yes, the next offering is the Mukta Anguti. Now, many of you, I'm sure you would relate. If you know that your mother really likes pearls, then of course, when it comes around to her birthday, or when you want to please her, when you feel like you want to express your gratitude to your mother, like on Mother's Day, you will obviously go out and get a gift of pearls, a pearl set or a pearl necklace or a pearl earrings, pearl bracelet, because you know that she likes it, and that's the only reason why you want to give it to her. In the same way, we know that Devi Parashakti is adorned with pearls. And actually, she has, even if she doesn't express it or doesn't tell you specifically, she has the beautiful adoration of pearls. Devi Meenakshi is actually described in the Meenakshi Pancharatnam, and I'll just be chanting that verse, as being adorned with garlands of pearls. So I'll just be chanting that verse, and then we'll understand the significance of this offering. Muktaharanala Kiritaruchiram Purnendu Bhakta Prabham Shinjannu Purikinkini Manidharam Padma Prabhavasuram Sarvabhita Palapradam Girisutam Vani Rama Sevitam Meenakshi Pranatosmi Santatamaham Karunyavaram Nidhim. The English translation. I bow down to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and paste shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of a lotus, who grants all wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddess Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. This is a beautiful invocation of Devi Meenakshi, where she is literally described here as whose crown has garlands of pearls. Devi Meenakshi is the incarnation of Devi Parashakti, who came down and has literally manifested all of the different beautiful items and all of even Kailasa she manifested on planet Earth. In fact, Devi Parashakti, as she manifested, is the form of Devi Meenakshi. She had literally united all of the 56 deshas. At that point in human history, all the human civilization was living as independent human tribes across the world. But Devi Parashakti had literally united all the 56 deshas and ruled it under one rule. Now, Devi Parashakti has then manifested Kailasa itself on planet Earth with the establishment of Madurai, the kingdom of Madurai. Just like how Devi Parashakti literally had such beautiful ambition and powerful ambition to manifest Kailasa itself on planet Earth, with this offering of the Mukta Anguti, you can have the blessings of Devi Parashakti in any of your endeavors, the new ventures that you are about to take in this time. Yes, we can go on to the next slide. Yes, we can go on. The next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus. Now, in the Kamikagama, the verse is described as all the kalashas that should be worn around with suitable thread and covered with new cloth. They should be adorned with lotus flower made of gold. Now, this actually shows us the significance of the Swarna Padma Pushpa. The next slide, please. So actually, there are hundreds of references of the scriptural references for the using the lotus flower and the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involves a consecration of deities, of worship, or meditating on mudras and asanas that are used during the worship and involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, and the lotus petals. So actually, the lotus is actually considered a divine flower. It is literally seen as a divine flower. That is why it's used so much, and it is associated so much in all of the Vedic scriptures, the Vedic arts, and everything. In fact, of course, you've seen in the Vedic tradition and culture, the lotus is in so many different ways. It is so it is used and referred upon in so many different scriptures. And you can see in Vedic arts as well. If you see any of the dresses or any of the arts, the paintings, the beautiful paintings, or even the architecture, lotus is in fact probably used the most. So why it is considered a divine flower? Because of its beautiful context. In even the most adverse situations, even in muddy waters, in polluted waters, even in just a little bit, just a few inches of water, the lotus blooms and it has divine radiance and resilience despite of its environment. That is the beauty of a lotus, that no matter where it is growing, no matter if it is in the pond or in the polluted waters, it still blooms and it still has that elegance, that grace, that beauty. That is why the lotus is associated with Devi Parashakti herself. Because even in the midst of wars, even in the midst of, even from the earth, from the mud, Devi Parashakti can be born. There are hundreds of descriptions just like this. Even in so much of war and so much of suffering, Devi Parashakti can manifest, and she will not just manifest, she will be the most elegant, most radiant, most resilient being who is manifested. Now, the Shakti of Paramashiva is also called the lotus. The base of the Paramashiva linga is also the lotus. And even the disciple who is about to bloom is also considered as a lotus. So you can offer this beautiful Swarna Padma Pushpa in order to have the blessings from Devi Parashakti to ultimately radiate that space, radiate the state, space, powers, and being of Devi in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situation in your life. Yes. The next offering is the Swarna Metti. I'll just be chanting first the Pramana. Nakhadiditi samchana namajjana tamo guna padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha. You whose brightness from toenails destroys the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower. Next slide, please. So in the Hindu tradition, even the married women wear the golden toe ring. And that is a representation of actually the Hindu sacred sentiment, where all of the different, all of the women of the world are considered as Devi Parashakti herself, are worshipped as Devi Parashakti herself. And it is all coming back down to this verse, actually, where we are seeing how it's described that literally the toenails of Devi Parashakti have the power to simply remove your incompletions or your pains or your sufferings, all of the ignorance that you have. And simply, that is how it happened. That is the quality of Devi Parashakti. It is not, you don't need even her whole foot. You can just have the grace of her, of just one toenail, and all of your sufferings are completely gone. And that is why we adorn her toes with the Swarna Metti. That is such a beautiful thing. How in the Vedic tradition, when we see the significance of a certain object, or we see the significance, it is always brought out and applied in every aspect of our life. Just how gold, we saw the significance and we saw the spiritual qualities. That's why all men were made of gold in the Hindu tradition, because we saw the significance of Devi Parashakti's, literally her very toenails. Every single woman is worshipped, revered, and adorned with that gold, that toe ring. And in the Hindu tradition, upon marriage, every woman has that toe ring. That is how the Hindu tradition literally reveres women so much. So this offering of the Swarna Metti is an offering to Devi Parashakti, adorning her sacred feet, to be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings even in the most difficult aspects of our life. The next slide, please. Yes. The next offering is the Swarna Mangtika, the golden hairline jewelry, another very beautiful, very significant offering that you can make. And it actually refers back to one of the verses where Devi Parashakti is described as Shuddha Sarabhi Varshani, meaning she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara, and she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. Now, the Mangtika represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is fully open. And the Sahasrara Chakra is represented by the 1,000-petaled lotus. The 1,000-petaled lotus is sitting at the very crown of our head. And when that opens, the nectar which is coming from it and oozing, causing us to experience so much of bliss, that is what is represented by the Mangtika. And the Sahasrara Chakra is literally representative of the huge amount of nervous center we have in the crown of our head, which is of course the brain. So that is why it's called this 1,000-petaled lotus, and represented by a lotus itself. So in this offering, you can receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti and achieve the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion, as Devi Parashakti literally will be able to open your Sahasrara Chakra and enlighten you entirely. And the next offering that is available for each and every one of you today is the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. Now, I just want to take a few minutes and describe, especially now, during this time, during Guru Purnima time, with less than 24 hours until we are celebrating Guru Purnima, until we are celebrating the most auspicious occasion of the whole year, the Guru Purnima day. On Guru Purnima, you will be able to have the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, and you can offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja during this time. Now, Guru Purnima is a time when all of the planets, all of the different grahas, and all of the different planetary energies are aligning you towards Guru and Guru happening in your life. I know that many of you have been praying for a guide in your life, especially during these extremely dark and intense times that we are all going through. A guide who will tell us, take this step, I'll be there, I'll protect you, I'll take care of everything. For millions of peoples across the world, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been that Guru. So much so that he is Jagat Guru for the entire universe. He has taken the responsibility to guide the whole universe from the Kali Yuga into the Nitya Yuga, into the Satya Yuga. So we can offer our offerings at the feet of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with this Pratyaksha Pada Puja. For all of you who are joining with us right now, please go to the links in the scroll below if you'd like to register yourself for the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which will be happening very soon, in just a few hours before you even know it. So make sure that you are planning or preparing to offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja on this Guru Purnima day. And this is the opportunity to simply drop any of the karma that you are experiencing, any of the pain and suffering that you are experiencing at the feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, incarnation of Paramashiva himself. And he will simply remove it, give his ultimate protection, and he will give you, each and every one of you, just the abhaya, meaning the blessings and guidance to, and being the ultimate guru for each and every one of you. If today we are able to cherish and enjoy any of the Hindu tradition, the qualities and the different customs, the traditions from Sanatana Hindu Dharma, it is solely because of the Guru Parampara. And if today we even have hope for the future of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, it is because of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has bravely and of attack against him stood and ensured the revival of Kailasa, the nation for Hinduism, and the Hinduism culture as a tradition. The last offering that each and every one of you can also do today is the Vastra Seva. So you can offer the Vastra Seva as well, which is a sacred adornment, the sacred cloth, which you can offer at the feet of Devi Parashakti. Yes. So now, moving on to the next slide, we have a summary of all of the different offerings that you can do today. There is the e-hundi offering. So all of these, there's various array of different options so that you can never feel limited. If you would like to make or at least pay some form, or you would like to donate in some way or form and offer your gratitude, there is some options for you. I'm sure that as a Hindu, as someone who deeply connects to Devi Parashakti, perhaps has had the blessings and of Devi Parashakti, you'd of course love to offer, or you'd love to pay your gratitude. You can pay in any of these ways, any amount, or with $1, or the highest amount as well, if you would like to, out of your deep gratitude to Devi Parashakti. So we have the e-hundi offering, the Sankalpa chanting, the Devi Sahasranam Akasu, the Mukta Anguti, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the Swarna Metti, the Swarna Mangtika, the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, and the Vastra Seva. So these are the array of different offerings that we have. You can select anything that you would like to offer at any option as well. The next slide, please. Now, now you might be in two categories as we are proceeding for the offerings today. You might be in the category of you're ready to make your payment, you'd like to go forward with the next steps. You can go to tiny.cc/Devi-offerings and you can proceed for the next steps of your payment. It's a very easy and quick process to do your payment. Then after the payment, make sure that you are filling out the Sankalpa 2021 form. This is for submitting the details needed for the puja. So this needs to be submitted after you make the payment, and all of your names and the names on whose behalf you are offering this puja, you will, all those names will be chanted after this form is filled. So if you're ready to make the payment, that's awesome, that's great. You can go ahead and make the payment through these links. Now, on the other hand, if you are still wanting to manifest any one of these offerings, perhaps you'd like to make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, but you'd like help in manifesting, or you'd like more details, or you're interested in the offering, but you cannot make it as on now, you can go to tiny.cc/Bhava-Samadhi and fill out the registration form. Now, the registration form is there, and you have two options also, and you can make the intention for making any one of these offerings. So I request if the tiny.cc/Devi-offerings link can be projected now. If we can go to that link. So we'll just be getting back with you with that link and being able to project it for all of you to see and to understand that this is a very quick payment process. You'll be able to simply be able to have any of those payments be fulfilled. So we'll be right back with you to show you the payment process and everything after a very quick break.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive, somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystems. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist. We get you health, we get you
ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from.
Yes, welcome back to all of the viewers. Before we are entering into the next segment of today's program, let's just understand what we can do, how we can, perhaps if we're having a question, either during the live Devi Bhava Samadhi Darshan or during the live Nithyananda Satsang, you can ask a question, you can interact perhaps and personally have your question or your request, your prayer to Devi Parashakti be granted today. So let us enter into the first slide. We can go on to the next slide. So here we'll be able to share with you how you can ask the question on the different social media platforms. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made himself and has made this Parashakti Akashic reading available for anyone who wants, and available on all the different social media platforms. So as you can see here on YouTube, you can go to Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. You can go to the live feed, and many of you, of course, are already watching there. Down below this video, you will see a join button. Make sure that you are joining as a member of this channel. Now, you can make sure that in all the different social media platforms that you are liking and following, and we'll show you a couple of samples today of those. And for membership, you can click the join button, and this is a very easy way that you can get access immediately to all of the 7,000 videos on the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, and the more than 20,000 hours of discourses, darshans, dikshas, intimate sessions, beautiful discourses and satsangs by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And it is just a beautiful way that you can simply start to manifest enlightenment, and with any problem that you have, fear, greed, or if you have a problem in relationships or wealth, any problem, you can find the answer on this YouTube channel with the more than 7,000 hours, 7,000 videos on this YouTube channel. So again, you can join at the button that is there. And today, if you'd like to ask your question at any time, either during the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, the live Bhava Samadhi Darshan, or during the live Nithyananda Satsang, you can ask your question in the chat. So you can ask your question in the chat, which you can see on the right-hand side. And once again, this would only be open for members. So yes, the next option we have is Facebook. You can go to Kailasa's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page, and this is the official Facebook page of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Make sure you are liking and following Kailasa's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page, so that you can have all of the different notifications, the different live events, the different posts personally given to you, and the personal messages from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism directly in your news feed, and ensure that you are getting the notifications when the notifications come immediately. You can tune in to the live events which are going on continuously from Kailasa. And we also have here, you can see that all the different live events are displayed or will be continuously there available on Facebook. So whatever, even if you miss a satsang, even if you miss a program, you can go back and watch and ensure that you are really relishing and reveling in the divine presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So make sure, if you want to ask any of your questions during the live Bhava Samadhi Darshan or the live Nithyananda Satsang, you can go to the comment section and post your comments in the comment section below the video. Yes, and the next option that we have is Twitter. I'm sure that many of you are users of Twitter. You spend all your day on Twitter, and you yourself have a Twitter following. If you like Twitter and that's the social media platform of your preference, then you can go and follow Kailasa's SPH JGM HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam on Twitter, and make sure that you're following the official Twitter handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is at Sri Nithyananda. And once again, here, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives personal messages to the whole humanity, to all the global Hindu diaspora here, his messages as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, his guidance during this time, and as well, all the different live events, the exciting events that are happening across Kailasas, across the world, will also be posted here regularly, as well as ensuring you have your daily dose of living enlightenment and enlightenment that can inspire you for the whole day. So make sure that you are following at Sri Nithyananda on Twitter, and you can go to the live event as well. The live event, which will be displayed on Twitter and will be a tweet from Sri Nithyananda, from the official handle. And then you can ask your questions as a reply to that tweet. So use tag at Sri Nithyananda and use the hashtag ask the avatar and tweet in the reply section of that tweet in order to make sure that do your best and make sure that your question is seen by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism during the live satsang. We also have a next platform here, which is Instagram. Now, Instagram is, of course, a very popular platform that I'm sure many of you spend so much of your time on, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism itself is available through Instagram with all the different posts, the different ideas and things from the from Kailasa directly to you and to your Instagram feed. You can follow at Sri Nithyananda on Instagram. That's the official handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on Instagram. You can go ahead and go there and make sure that you are tuned in and following Kailasa on Instagram. And in any of the posts, in the post for the live satsang or for the live Bhava Samadhi Darshan, you can comment there using the hashtag Ask the Avatar as well, and comment your questions you can ask your questions in the comment section. And finally, the next slide, if you might not be social media savvy, you're not very comfortable with social media platforms, or perhaps you yourself are not on social media, you can go to kailasa.org and ask your questions or send in your prayer requests through WhatsApp. So you can go there, and there's a widget for WhatsApp on the website that you can go and chat, and you can send in your questions during the live Bhava Samadhi Darshan or during the live satsang. So that's another option for you as well. And also on the live chat as well, you can ask your questions and send in your prayer request to Devi Parashakti during the live Bhava Samadhi Darshan or to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So yes, let's all enrich humanity with more than 1 billion users on the internet at a time for more than 4 to 5 hours a day. You can enrich people through the internet and through social media, and it's very easy. So ensure that you are also sharing on all these various platforms for the Nithyananda Satsang, for the live Bhava Samadhi Darshans, as well for Guru Purnima, which is happening in just a few hours away. So with this, we'll now be moving on to the next segment in today's program, the temple. From Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya in Adi Kailasa Sarvagya Peetham, we will be able to witness the most glorious Uttamottama Paksha Maha Guru Puja, which is an offering to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the entire Guru Parampara, as we have been celebrating the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam the last couple of days, and we are continuing to celebrate it. We celebrate through the form of grand rituals, which we will now be able to witness and be able to have the darshan of through this social media platform right now. So make sure that you are sharing and inviting all of your friends, and we'll be right back with you after a short break.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive, somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashiva will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you, Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystems.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world.
We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science for you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashiva will reach you with enlightenment signs. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you. Interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanyapitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happen. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. we will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashian.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great.
Herself expressing through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
நீ சொல்லும் நபர்கள் போடும் சண்டை சச்சரவெல்லாம் எரியும் பெருநெருப்பில் இருக்கும் இரண்டு எலிகள் போடும் சண்டை போன்றது. யார் சரி யார் தவறென்பது இப்பொழுது முக்கியம் அல்ல. உயிர் காத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள், எல்லோரும் நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். நன்மையைச் சொல்லுகின்றேன், உண்மையைச் சொல்லுகின்றேன். இந்திய நாட்டில் இருக்கும் மக்கள் எல்லோரும் கேளுங்கள். கருட புராணத்தில் வியாசன் சொன்ன கிருமி போஜனம் என்னும் நரகம் திறந்து நேரடியாய் இந்தியா மீது இடிபோல் விழுகின்றது. ஆதி கைலாசத்திற்கு ஓடிச் சென்று வருமுன் காத்துக் கொள்வது மட்டுமே ஒரே வழி. கொரோனா பெருந்தொற்று கொள்ளை நோய் கிருமி போஜனம் எனும் நரகத்தை பூமிக்கு கொண்டு வந்து விட்டது. அகோர தாண்டவத்தின் ஆட்டம் யாராலும் அடக்க முடியாத அளவிற்கு ஆரம்பித்து விட்டது. புதிதாய் உருக்கொண்டிருக்கும் இந்த நுண்ணுயிரி மைல்கள் கடந்தும் காற்றினில் உயிரோடு இருந்து மற்ற உயிர்களையும் அழித்து உடல்களை தின்னும் பெரும் வலிவு கொண்ட பேசுரர்களாய் வலம் வர துவங்கி விடுகின்றது. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். வருமுன் காத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள், அது ஒன்றே வழி. அதற்காகவே ஆதி கைலாசத்தை திறந்து வைத்திருக்கின்றேன். உயிர் காத்துக் கொள்ள வேண்டி விரும்பும் எல்லோரும் ஓடுங்கள் ஆதி கைலாசத்திற்கு. இந்தியாவில்தான் இந்த நரகம் திறந்து உலகெங்கும் பரவப் போகின்றது. கிருமி போஜன நரகம் பூமிக்கு வந்துவிட்டது. மனிதர்கள் செய்த மகா கொடுமைகளினால். அன்னை முன்னின்று என் அடியவரை காப்பேன் சொல்வதை கேட்டு உயிர் காத்துக் கொள்ள விரும்புவோர் வருமுன் காப்பது ஒன்றே வழி என்று தெரிந்து செல்லுங்கள் ஆதி கையிலைக்கு. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
On 31st May 2021, during the Parashakti Akashic readings to the world, Devi revealed that everyone in India, all of you listen, the hell of Krimi Bojanam, that is Krimi Bojanam, that was mentioned by Vyasa in Garuda Puranam, has opened and is directly falling on India as thunder. Running to Adi Kailasha and protection from it is the only way. Deadly corona life taking disease has brought the hell known as Krimi Bojanam to earth. The dance of Aghora Thandava, which no one could control, has started. This microorganism that has Form will be alive in air for miles together, destroying other souls. It will eat bodies. It has started roaming as great demons with tremendous strength. Understand properly. Prevention is the only way. For that, I have opened Adi Kailasa. For those who want to save their lives, all of you run to Adi Kailasa. Only in India, this hell is going to open and is going to spread to the whole world. The Krimi Bhojanam hell has come to the earth because of the suffering done by the humans. Mother, I will protect these at my feet. Those who listen to me and wish to save their lives, learning that prevention is the only way, go to Adi Kailasa. Krimi Bhojana is one of the 28 hells described in Hindu scriptures, where people are sent to suffer in a pit to be eaten up by the worms. The Garuda Purana chapter, in one of the chapter, cosmology of hell, and the nether regions, the Devi Bhagavata Purana, chapter 21, on the narrative of hells, and chapter 22 on the narrative of the sins leading to hells. The Shiva Purana, chapter 16, uplift from the hell, section 5. Skanda Purana, chapter 12, redemption from hells. Chapter 2, the merit of visiting Setu. Chapter 30, the glory of Danishkoti. The Brahmanda Purana, chapter 20, hell in nether regions, and chapter 106, suffering in hell. The Padma Purana, chapter 48, section on the nether world. You can see the current state of the world. It was updated last 6th June 2021. The statistics of this widespread pandemic. Total deaths 3 million, and largest daily figure is 12,744, and total confirmed cases are in millions, 139 million, and latest daily figure is 837,000 around the world. And the statistics of the cases and the deaths and the vaccine doses administered. COVID is airborne. Scientists say now authorities think so. They also thinking that the scientists are calling for ventilation systems to be overhauled, like public water supplies were in 1800s after fetid pipes were found to harbor cholera. A quiet revolution has permeated global health crisis. Authorities have come to accept what many researchers have argued for over a year. The coronavirus can spread through the air. That new acceptance by the World Health Organization and the US Centers for the Disease Control and Prevention comes with the concrete implications. Scientists are calling for ventilation systems to be overhauled, like public water supplies were in 1800s after fetid pipes were found in harbor cholera. Cleaner indoor air won't just fight the pandemic. It will minimize the risk of catching the flu, other respiratory infections that cost the US more than 50 billion a year. Researchers said in a study in the General Science on Friday, avoiding these germs and their associated sickness and productivity losses will therefore offset the cost of upgrading ventilation and filtration in buildings. World's most infectious disease now airborne. And he is right. The SARS-CoV-2 virus can travel on a very small particles that disperse quickly outdoors, but can build up indoors. These particles can affect people who stay more than 6 feet away. And the mask that Americans are wearing have adopted many provide some COVID protection, but then do not render an unsafe situation safe. Through scientists have been discussing airborne transmission for months. It was only last week that the World Health Organization, WHO, and CDC made this official. With the vaccine rollout still in its early days across the world, those officials should follow up this belated admission with guidance that unvaccinated people can use to minimize their risk. The Hindu explains is airborne COVID-19 a risk? The airborne COVID threat is confirmed. What to do about it? The droplet is cough and sneezes and can spread droplets of saliva and mucus. Airborne, tiny particles possibly produced by talking are suspended in the air for longer and travel further. In a letter, what have scientists told the World Health Organization? How does the disease pass from one person to another? The story is so far. On Monday, July 19, 6,239 scientists from 32 countries put their signatures on an open letter that said COVID-19 is also transmitted via air. Tilted, it is the time to address airborne transmission of COVID-19 and address to the World Health Organization, who they said that there was enough evidence to show that viruses are related during exhalation, talking, and coughing, and the micro droplets small enough to remain aloft and pose a risk of exposure at distances beyond 1 to 2 meters from someone who is infected low for fewer than 3 feet to 6 feet, recommended for physical distancing between people to avoid transmission. The current state of India in Tamil Nadu alone, last case recorded in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, 36 minutes ago is confirmed 10,072, active is 9,983, and recovered 26, and deaths are 63. The statistics, new cases and deaths. You can see the picture. The Times of India's statistics, the COVID-19 in Tamil Nadu, the number of deaths is higher during the second wave. You can see the statistics in this slide. And you can see more statistics. You can see some more statistics across the region. And the last case that we heard in the different state, Maharashtra. And you can see across the different states in India, the district-wide confirmed cases, the latest, and the health infrastructure. Karnataka alone, the Bangalore district, the cases are in like few lakhs, and deaths are also in thousands. And Maharashtra also are in lakhs, the cases registered are lakhs, and deaths are in thousands. So across the states of India, the cases and the deaths you can see in this slide. Home quarantine is not possible in India, statement made by the Indian government. The home quarantine is a prime reason for large number of deaths in Assam. The Himanta Biswa Sharma, Assam Chief Minister, said that the home quarantine is one prime reason for the large number of deaths during the second wave of COVID-19 in Assam. Assam on Monday witnessed 92 deaths, which were the highest single day deaths in the state. Sharma said that we have seen more death cases are happening from home isolation, as several people do not keep oximeters and some do not read the count in the meter properly. And further information on home quarantine is not possible in India. The Economic Times states that COVID Live News, Maharashtra ends home isolation in 13 districts. Patients from these districts have to go to a quarantine center. Maharashtra government on Tuesday announced the decision to stop home quarantine in 18 districts, which show higher COVID positivity rate than the state's average. The state's public health minister, Rajesh Tope, said that the decision is taken to ensure better healthcare facilities to patients in districts which are showing higher positivity rate. And you can see the another news channel, Business Line, which states the same line: home quarantine is not possible in India, that about 41% of the houses have just a single room, which is shared by about 5%. About 41% households in India have just one room and don't have an exclusive living room, or about 5 people share such accommodations. About 32% of the household have 2 rooms, and adding to the O's in the fact that only 47% of the household have access to water within the premises, and 42% don't have a bathing facility within the premises. And some more information on this, that the home quarantine is not possible in India, that the self-isolation for COVID-19 is impossible for 40% of Indian families. In order to utilize India's healthcare infrastructure, the optimally fallout of coronavirus, the central government on 27th April signaled a change in approach from mandating that every person who tests positive for the virus be moved to isolation beds in dedicated hospitals or units. The government allowed home quarantine for those with mild symptoms. The key additional condition was that their house should allow self quarantining. That in India, it is easier said than done. According to Census 2011, about 42% of Indian households were living in houses where an average 3 or more people were sharing a room. In the context of coronavirus, this challenge of physical distancing is greater in rural areas, the 45% of household, than the urban ones, 35% of the households. Only one state, Kerala, is looking relatively dignified on this metric. And all districts reporting at least 250 cases have anywhere between 34% and 54% household averaging 3 or more to a room. Where is the space for home quarantine in cities? In New Delhi, the health ministry last week said most cases of coronavirus had been asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic, and had advertised advised home isolation for such people. It also said that 65% cases across the country were reported from the metros and big cities. However, the census data suggests, and experts also agree, that the following the ministry guidelines on home quarantine is near impossible, particularly in urban households. The guidelines on home quarantine say the person showing COVID-19 symptoms has to remain isolated in a well ventilated room, preferably with a attached toilet. If another family member needs to stay in the same room, it is advisable to maintain a distance of at least 1 meter between the two, it stated. So, when the first world countries closed their borders during a massive global emergency, Kailasa has opened its doors to all without exception. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism reveals that at least 6 months back, I became aware that multi layer quarantine is needed to protect people. If you are in India and you want to protect your immediate family or extended family, anyone who will listen to you, get them immediately to our campuses. Across India, the centers, the COVID care protection centers are open, are Adi Kailash in Bididi, Bangalore, Salem Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Tirunnamalai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Rajapalam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Puduvai Adinam, Tamil Nadu, Pattanam Adinam, Srirangapadi Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Sripuram Adinam in Hyderabad, and Madurai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Avatipalem, Erode, Tamil Nadu, and Husur Adinam, Tamil Nadu, and Baroda Adinam in Gujarat. Kailasa rushes to help us as India finds itself on the verge of COVID-19 third wave. First, the multiple free COVID care centers opened across India. Various social services offered during pandemic in Nithyananda ashrams across India. The spiritual services offered during pandemic in Nithyananda ashrams across India. The cosmic revelations on global pandemic. Many various free social services offered during the pandemic in Nithyananda ashrams across India. The first is medical care, which includes allopathy, Ayurvedic, and Siddha medicine. The fire safety equipment maintenance, infrastructure to accommodate 1,000, and accommodation for multi-layer quarantine, emergency ambulances and ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment, groceries collected for Annadan, and organic farming. So, if you'd like to save your life, join COVID care protection centers and register now through the link below, which is https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. The glimpses from Kailasa's the Department of Health on COVID protection for Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham. Immunity boosters and COVID care supplements procurement. The allopathic immune boosters are zinconia, vitamin D, and vitamin C. Through Ayurvedic medicine, immunity boosters are being provided to protect all the residents of Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham. Steaming once a day with tulsi, eucalyptus, nochi, and turmeric leaves. All these leaves, the herbal leaves are taken from the healing trees here in Adi Kailasa. Twice a week, consumption of Kabasura Kundini, a mixture of pepper, ginger, and clove, and other ingredients, extensively aimed for boosting the lungs, improving the respiratory system, and treating infectious conditions such as cough, cold, and fever. Neelavembu Kundinir to be taken once a week. The Agastya Lehiam 5 days. Talisadi Vatakam 3 to 4 tablets per day for 5 days. Induganta Kashayam, the Amritostara Kashayam, both for 5 days, 1 teaspoon within 50 ml of warm water. Sudarshana Gulika once every 5 days. Gargling with salt and turmeric twice a day. Spiritual routine Panchakriya, the detoxing the whole body. Haritaki, castor oil, neem juice. Pratama Vinyasakama, the regular daily yoga that we do. Trinetra Kumbhaka and Puja, daily Nitya Puja. The basic sanitation and safety practices are a disposal of soil pads, infected material, and non biodegradable done through incineration, RO water systems for drinking water, cleansing and sanitization of overhead tanks, a regular DVDing, maintenance and repair of electrical circuits, communication facilities for safety, and compost pit filling with biodegradables. The diagnosis COVID care quarantine methodologies include immediately upon arrival to the campus, occupants will be quarantined for 15 days. The swab test, the RT PCR test to be done on day 5 of quarantine. All food handlers to be wearing mask and gloves and keeping distance. Disposal of waste food to be done with gloves and mask. Disposal of gloves and mask by incineration, and in case of an emergency, protective kits ready to hand to take a COVID positive patient to hospital. You can see the picture of the precautionary, the symptoms, the hand washing and infection control. Washing hands as often thoroughly with soap and water or with alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid sharing any items such as dishes, drinking glasses, cups, eating utensils, towels, bedding, or other items with other residents in the Adinam. The mask protection include wear a mask all the times when and if exposed to vendors or outside people. Double layer cotton mask should be changed every day up to 24 hours and can be reused after washing with a detergent and sun dried. If it gets wet by saliva, the secretions or sweat, change it and wear a single a dry mask. The wet mask can be stored in a sealed plastic cover and washed with detergent and reused later. The mask protection, you can see the pictures. The face shield will be provided as an extra protective wear for people at the gate, interacting with the vendors and outsiders. The use of hand sanitizer, hand washing, regular streaming, taking of preventive kashayams, turmeric salt water gargling, and bathing with washing clothes with history of any exposure. If symptoms appear, which includes cough, fever, difficulty in breathing, he or she should immediately inform the medical person in charge immediately. The standard operating procedures of quarantine includes first line of quarantine, people in the first circle who are in contact with vendors, the area of stay confined to the outermost area where communication with the outside is happening with vendors, etc. The stay in a well ventilated single room preferably with an attached separate toilet. The person should not come to contact with inmates of Adhinam, especially elderly people, the pregnant women, children, and persons with comorbidities, the hypertension, diabetes, heart problem, asthma, etc. Restrict his or her movement within the area or room, the first line of quarantine. Delivery of packages. All parcels received at the gate to be sanitized, spraying with disinfectant. All deliveries will be contactless delivery. Wearing of free coverings and hand gloves are mandatory if contactless delivery is not an option, or request the delivery to be left in a protected and isolated place. The outer packaging of the item or product will be disposed before it enters the Adhina. Packages will be quarantined before being delivered. All the delivery bags, boxes, and containers will be thrown away after transferring the items to their respective places. The surfaces of the package will be cleaned with a simple disinfectant and left to dry. All hands handling the packaging will be thoroughly washed with soap and water and or antibacterial solution frequently. All mail and packaged products, the non-perishable, will be left outside for 24 hours before using them. Disinfection, the sodium hypochlorite, the bleach or chloride will be used, the 1 teaspoon of bleaching powder in 3 cups. Alcohol at 70 to 90% will also be used for surface disinfection. Clothes to be washed separately with detergent and dried. Sharing of items prevents the spread of the virus. Fever continues for more than 5 days. If some of the warning signs, fever returns to the second week after having been reduced for a day or two. Fever more than 101 Fahrenheit after day 4. Resting heart rate over 110 while there is no activity happening. Breathlessness, tightness in the chest. Oxygen saturation less than 94% on pulse oximeter. 6-minute walk test. Record the saturation rate before and after walking briskly for 6 minutes. If the saturation falls by more than 3%, it is not favorable, and less than 94% is not good too. Relentless cough, the continuous coughing. In campus ambulances, you can see the pictures. Some more pictures of this. The prevention is the best medicine. This is the second line of quarantine. People who come in as newly will be given a separate room with the toilet facility. Under no circumstances will they exit the room. The designated quarantine person picks up the food after the person who served the food is at a safe distance of 6 feet. The food will be placed outside the door. Monitor the temperature, pulse rate, and oxygen saturation levels once a day and more often if the person is symptomatic. Please speak with the medical team. Take paracetamol if temperature is more than 99 Fahrenheit. Ensure good hydration, have a nutritious diet, and stream inhalation twice daily, salt and turmeric hot water gargling twice daily. Ayurvedic and Siddha medicine will be given as per the instructions. Doctor will be contacted if there is worsening of symptoms for specific management, which could be further consultation, investigations, and treatment. Residents will be asked to continue taking medications if they are on any blood BP, blood pressure, sugar, or heart elements, etc. Doctors will be consulted if conditions pose a higher risk. Residents on medication will be asked to bring 2 months of supply till the Adinam is able to organize the medications for them. Residents will be asked to take a long deep breath, the pranayama, lying prone position on their tummy as much as possible so the lungs expand well. If there are no symptoms, the person will come out of quarantine after the total of 15 days. The test will not be repeated if clinically well. If there are symptoms, the person will need to be retested and need medical opinion and necessary investigations and treatment. Common symptoms which will look out for are fever, sore throat, fatigue, excess tiredness, cough and mostly dry, wet cough in some, body aches, headache, loose stools, vomiting, loss of sense of smell, loss of sense of taste, exhaustion, giddiness, fainting. Previous mentioned symptoms will be provided with immediate evaluation and hospital care. Early detection of these warning signs and identifying the timeline is very crucial for better outcome. These will be monitored very closely and is the most important thing that needs to be done. Identifying day one of symptoms is very crucial in the management with respect to monitoring the treatment protocols. Day one would be when the very first symptom is started. Investigate for possible source of contact. All the people who have come in close contact 3 to 6 feet range with the primary case in the last 3 days need to be isolated separately and the infectivity starts 0 to 3 days before the onset of symptoms, and the infected person shed the virus till 9 days. Any of the above symptoms in various combinations signals the possibility of COVID. Even though the same symptoms can happen with any viral infection, in a pandemic, it is to be considered as the possible diagnosis until proven otherwise. Rare presentations are known: rash on body, bluish discoloration of the fingers and toes, sudden onset of breathlessness, heart attack and strokes, paralysis of the limbs. Any suspect case should be immediately isolated. The RT-PCR test is to be asked for in symptomatic people immediately. The contact will monitor for symptoms and will get tested if any symptoms show up. Else, to wait for 5 days if they continue to be asymptomatic. They check their status thereafter. A negative report ensures they can move into the community. Instructions followed by the lead. Only an assigned member will be tasked with taking care of the quarantined person. Use disposable gloves when cleaning the surfaces or handling any soiled linen of individual. Washing of hands after removing gloves will be allowed in the vicinity of the quarantined person. In case the person being quarantined becomes symptomatic, all the close contacts taking care will be quarantined for 15 days and followed up for an additional 15 days or till the report turns out negative on lab testing. The environmental sanitization includes clean and disinfect frequently touch surfaces in the quarantine person's room, example the bed frames, tables, etc., daily with bleach solution. Clean and disinfect toilet surfaces daily with regular household bleach solution, the phenolic disinfectants. clean the clothes and other linen used by the person separately using common household detergent and dry. The Adinavasis coming into the Adinam must take the following medical test. A result to be sent to Ma Santan Lakshmi, and you can email. The email is projected here. Results will be reviewed by the medical team at the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita female campus by Dr. Atmananjana and Dr. Santan Lakshmi and Dr. Ma Chandravidya RN. The medical tests include the blood test, mandatory requirements of medical tests. Blood test, the complete blood count with peripheral smear, blood group type, fasting and postprandial blood sugar, renal function test, blood urina, blood and serum creatinine, VDRL, HBsAg, HIV, thyroid function test, serum T3, T4, TSH, ECG, liver function test, and lipid profile tests. Please get your RT-PCR test for COVID-19 taken 2 days before coming into the Adhinam and send it to the previous mentioned email address to get clearance. The medical team will communicate to the admin of the respective Adhinam which regards to the medical status and approval status. Once communicated to the person should come into the Adhinam within 24 to 48 hours of the test. If there are any pre-existing medical issues like hypertension, diabetics, or any other chronic diseases and comorbid situation, please bring in a recent reports and the prescription from the attending doctor. A medical form will need to be filled in by all the new occupants. A legal disclaimer will also be required to be signed. All the people in the quarantine will be monitored for temperature rise, oxygen status, and other symptoms during the period of quarantine. Anyone with symptoms should be reported immediately. The designated quarantine person will be responsible to monitor the pulse oximeter and temperature daily. The equipment should be sanitized after every use, and knowledge for the same will be given to the medical team. The report of these recordings will be reviewed by the medical team daily. During the quarantine period, certain Ayurvedic and Siddha preparations, streaming, saline, and turmeric water goggle and other immune booster will be given by the caregivers, which has to be followed strictly. The rules and regulations include after 15 days they can be out of quarantine. Please follow the basic guidelines of living in the Adhinam, some of which are listed below. Smoking, drinking, drugs, substance abuse is strictly prohibited. Consumption of non-vegetarianism food is strictly prohibited. Illicit sex is strictly prohibited. Please follow the basic etiquette like traditional Indian clothing, personal and environmental cleanliness, and hygiene. Maintaining the sanitation of the Adhinam include the following measures below will help prevent in the spread of infections in the Adhinam, such as colds, flu, and stomach bugs, and protect the Adhinavadis. Make sure the workplace are clean and hygienic. Surfaces that are desks and tables and objects that, example, the telephone, keyboards, need to be wiped with the disinfectant regularly to prevent. Promote a regular and thorough hand washing by the Adinavasis. Please keep sanitizing hard rub dispensers in prominent places around the workplace. Make sure these dispensers are regularly refilled. Display posters promoting hand washing. The washing kills the virus on your hands and prevents the spread of infection. Promote good respiratory hygiene in the workplace, display posters promoting respiratory hygiene. Good respiratory hygiene prevents the spread of infection. Even with even a mild cough or low-grade fever with 37.3 Celsius or more need to be monitored by health personnel with isolation even if symptoms are mild. They should wear ordinary surgical face masks rather than N95 face masks in their quarantine room. Medications such as paracetamol, ibuprofen, or aspirin may mask symptoms of infection. Ensure and pre-order sufficient supplies and materials, including masks, tissues, and hand sanitizers for all the people. The travel precautions include travel outside of the Adinam must be discussed with the medical department. No one is leave the premises without a plan of action. When someone is infected with COVID-19, the plan should cover putting the ill person in an area where they are isolated from others. Local health authorities will be notified. The medical team have a working relationship with good hospital for and any medical emergency. Please note down emergency contact numbers of the hospitals where you may have to shift people to. All the medical team members and the admins will have it with them for immediate reference. You can see the oxygen concentrators in case of emergency. Join now for the COVID Care Protection Center. Register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. So now we'll have a short break and we are going to move on to the next segment.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibility happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
Yes. Now, in the Adi Kailasa and other protection, COVID care protection centers, how the morning yoga, the morning spiritual routine is getting implemented. As part of the morning routine, they do the various activities, which includes Nithyananda Yoga, Nitya Puja, the Panchakriya, the Satsang, and taking Kashayams. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, a person who is in love will wait to spend time with the beloved. If you are a seeker, you will be waiting for this 5 hours every day, because that is the time you get near what you are seeking. A person who is in love will be waiting to spend time with the beloved, and a person who is seeking will be waiting to spend this 4 hours. Because this is the time you get closest to what you are seeking, and your seeking takes shape into the system. So when your beloved comes near you, if you are tired, the love is gone. that's dead. So during the morning 4 hours, if you are bored, your seeking is dead, gone. You need to thorough overhauling inside you. You need to ask yourself. You need to question many of your answers. You need to bring pure questioning back to your life. So during the as part of the routine, the morning Nithyananda yoga, which when you do the yoga, you experience your entire body becoming Amrita Sharira, the body filled with nectar. It becomes an ecstatic body just by the air, without any external touch. The Panchakriya, which is the Panchakriya, is doing the detoxification of the body. Panchakriya involves five processes to remove toxins and impurities from the system. Just like how we take a shower every day to clean the external parts of our body, Panchakriya is a powerful cleansing process which cleanses the internal organs of our body, keeping it cool. These techniques not only cleanse our body, but bring peace and balance our mind and lightness and which that brings to our being. Doing the Nitya Puja every day. The puja, you experience the space of samadhi, the devotion, the space of surrender that occurs to you from this devotion moves you from the I, which is so heavy, to the God or Guru. This surrender allows us to drop all the unnecessary baggage from the head. So, one of the beautiful pujas in Hinduism is Rudrabhishekam. In Rudrabhishekam, we offer sacred bath to a Shivalinga while chanting the powerful mantras. The Shivalinga is a deity which beautifully represents the divine. It is its form indicates how God is beyond form and formless. We sit down and connect with God by performing Rudrabhishekam. O Sadashiva, Paramashiva, O God, I know you are the source of everything. You are everything, and you are in this Shivalinga, and you are in this body. Let me connect with me. Let you reveal yourself to me. When we sit with that in that power, when we sit with that context and do the action of Rudrabhishekam, we experience the Bhava Samadhi. Only in Bhava Samadhi can give us the highest taste and higher joy in life. Rudrabhishekam is a beautiful ritual which allows us to experience the Bhava Samadhi of Shivoham, that I am divine. You will manifest Shaktis and spiritual powers with morning routine. So if you just follow this morning 5 hours, enough. You will have a walk Shakti, all Shaktis manifesting in you, because all the obstacles for manifesting Shaktis, tiredness and boredom, pitta, fatigue, and everything will be churned out in that morning 5 hours. The morning puja is the most powerful mandala process, the Shakti Pata, melting your being, and then sitting and listening to the sacred truths. Constantly inspiring, engaging, alive, awakening. Just this morning 5 hours, if you can bring integrity and authenticity, all the obstacles stopping you from power manifestation will disappear. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continues to say that you can perform all the spiritual practices by yourself, like the morning yoga and Nitya Puja from your home. But there will always be a risk of losing your initial inspiration and excitement after a few days or after a few weeks. So, living in the enlightenment ecosystem, even if your boredom or tiredness try to pull you down, the Sangha will inspire you, help you by giving the wake up call and supporting you to complete your incompletions. So, some of you may be a Shakta, some may be yoga, some may be Vedanta Tantra, some may be Shakta Vedanta, some may be Shaiva Tantra, some may be Yoga Vedanta, some may be Yoga Shaiva, some may be Vaidika Shaiva, all kinds of permutations and combinations. We may be each temple, each mutt, each monastery, each adhinam, each Veda Patashala, each sannyasa sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created to keep the enlightenment signs of alive of that sampradaya. So the ecosystem in Adi Kailasa and the other adhinams established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives you that ecosystem, whatever. So join now to protect your life. Register now through the link below, which is https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. Now it's time we move on to the next part of our segment. After a short break, and it's time we welcome the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the darshan and the infinite blessings that we're going to receive. And let's sit with the deep space of gratitude and with the deep restful awareness and a strong feeling connection with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We are just a few hours away for the Guru Purnima. On this occasion, let's all offer our gratitude. And now it's time we sit with a deep feeling connection, deep sense of gratitude to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Continue to chant and sit with the deep restful awareness and deep space of gratitude and a strong feeling connection.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm am working sincerely, I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within the next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystems.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you, and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you out, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with an I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet there. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected this science, helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you, in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all of the viewers who are joining us from all over the world. I know that each and every one of you are eagerly awaiting the Nithyananda Satsang and the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. I invite each and every one of you, as we are waiting and as we are eagerly waiting for the next 1 hour to pass, as we are live at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, with the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, inviting each and every one of you to spend a few minutes now and share in all of the different social media platforms the news that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself will be gracing and will be here and will be gracing us, each and every one. Now, so make sure that you're going ahead and sharing in all the different social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're spending time. Now, in this day and age, many of us are spending at least 4 to 5 hours on social media itself. And we are continuously being able to, enrich one another on the social media platform. We are able to meet and socialize with so many different people across the world. And at any given time, there's at least 1 billion people who are on the internet at any given time. So inviting each and every one of you, you can spend that time, the 4 to 5 hours that you spend on the internet, using the internet, and you can speak on you can share and enrich with the powerful cognitions from Sanatana Hindu Dharma that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving. And you can see how day in and day out, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been continuously making himself available to each and every one, to every single human being on planet Earth, no matter where they are, no matter what they are doing, or no matter which time zone they might be in, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is making himself available through these platforms and ensuring that the great Vedic knowledge of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is transforming the lives of millions continuously. Whether it is on YouTube, where more than 7,000 videos with more than 20,000 cumulative hours of his darshans, dikshas, satsangs, and so much more is available for each and every one of you to constantly enrich yourself in any problem, for anything during the day. And Oris is on Facebook, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is himself making the different posts and making the different messages for the whole humanity and for the whole global Hindu diaspora, different beautiful messages of Sanatana Hindu, of where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is literally giving us the secrets into how to transform our life. Each and every one of us can benefit so much, literally transform our lives from this extremely productive and extremely auspicious advent of the avatar. Now, not only in YouTube or Facebook, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also available, making himself available on Twitter, as well as other platforms where you might be continuously joining us wherever you are. And every day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is speaking on the latest breakthrough thought current, breakthrough satsang, with so much of upliftment for the whole humanity to achieve this super conscious breakthrough. Yes. So in this next segment, we'll be entering into the next segment we'll be entering into right now is understanding the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So we'll be now understanding, and I'm 100% sure, perhaps many of you, or maybe not, if you have not already, you have to know the news that the United Nations has recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And after the tremendous hard work and dedication of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to end violence against women in India and for Hindus around the world, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has brought the persecution against the women ongoing in India and Hindu women of Kailasa especially to the global platform. Now, the UN Special Rapporteur has recognized the amount of work that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done to bring out, to give a voice and eliminate the violence against victims and give a voice to the immense amount of number of victims who are out there, who are victims of sexual assault and gender-based violence and femicide due to institutional misogyny and so many different crimes against women, ultimately crimes against humanity. We have been continuously unable to see the way that women in India especially are being continuously attacked. If a woman sees either themselves or their mothers, their grandmothers, their relatives, their cousins, their sister-in-laws and mother-in-laws, every single woman we know has gone through something, has seen in front of their own eyes the amount of violence that has been happening in the street. And even if we have not gone through it ourselves, we are literally able to see it in the street. We know when a woman is unable to fend for herself and defend herself. And Hindu women especially have been undergoing persecution and violence in so many different forms for the last 1,000 years. But where is this in the international platform? Where has this been recognized as a history? In our Hindu textbooks, we're not even taught what kinds of crimes the Hindus are undergoing. And unfortunately, due to this, that is why the situation for women will continue to worsen if we don't do something now. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only hope, even for ending violence against women. Today, in this next segment, I'd like to briefly go over with each and every one of you the details of the attacks against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and against the women of Kailasa. Yes, so now, I just like to briefly go over the timeline of the 2012 attack, where 16 women of Kailasa were arbitrarily arrested illegally, and even some who were brutally raped and gang raped and assaulted by extremists who are being powered by institutional forces. Now, on the 7th of June 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism held a press meeting to reveal the truth about the false accuser and the media mafia attack 2 times in a single day. The media mafia leader, Ajit, filed a police complaint alleging that he was slapped, and specifically that his belly was slapped. On the 8th of June, the second press meeting to reveal what was going on during the previous day, to tell the truth again, was being held. And again, the media mafia attacked. The state chief minister had entered the district administration to come up with detailed report regarding to the situation in around the premise of Nithyananda Ashram in Bidadi. And this is the Adi Kailasa Sarvagya Peetham. And then on the 10th of June, media reports revealed the state was planning to illegally take over the Adinam, or the temple monastery. On the 11th of June 2012, the government orders sealing of the Adinam, the temple monastery, and the police executed a search, seal, and seize and curfew order. First of all, this is an absolutely illegal act against a religious institution in India. How can they even surmise being able to take control of a religious institution? Would they do this to other religious institutions? These are the fundamental questions that we have to ask. The police continued to execute this search, seize, and curfew order until the 12th of June 2012. And not only that, children inside of the Adinam had to go hungry because police and because the authorities in check would not allow them to have food even. The next slide, please. And this led to the events on the 13th of June 2012. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had gone to court seeking anticipatory bail for the malicious FIR by media mafia, and namely the anti-Hindu element extremist Ajit. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's council could not secure the anticipatory bail as hearing was purposely adjourned for the next day. And the state government filed another false case using police justification propaganda alleging that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was a threat to the peace, and again illegally arrested the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Millions of us devotees around the world were absolutely devastated to hear that once again the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was arrested, and illegally done so after seeing literally with our own eyes the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism undergo 53 days with undergoing absolute torture, death threats, even attempts to kill him. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had to go under the illegal custody of the state authorities again in 2012. And this time, without anyone understanding or knowing what was happening. The next slide, please. On the 13th of June 2012 is when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism came to seek anticipatory bail. And since 2010, the anti-Hindu terrorists and anti-Guru mafia had attacked the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and tried all kinds of character and assassination against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism until they found that they were not able to shake or destroy the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The strategic move of the anti-Hindu militant forces was to threaten and attack the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and put their future into insecurity. And on the 11th of June 2012, the CM of Karnataka ordered for the sealing of the ashram, the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham, and the temple. The summoning of the medical records by the USA court debunking the false case against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was a slap on the face of the state police media mafia nexus. They tried everything to suppress this truth and intensify the attacks on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to somehow eliminate or break him. They tried the ultimate weapon, threatening the lives of and future of disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the anti-Hindu terrorists and anti-Guru Hindu mafia knew the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will do any tyaga to protect his disciples and the truths of Hinduism. That is where they hit the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and held hostage the future of the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism did the sarva parityaga of himself as he came to court seeking anticipatory bail, very well knowing he will not get justice and instead he will be facing an assassination attempt, inhuman tortures, dehumanization, and more. On the 11th of June 2012, the chief minister had illegally ordered the arrest of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the arbitrary and illegal arrest, the search and seal of the temple property, and the seal of the Adinam, the arbitrary and illegal seal of the Adinam, and the enforcing the curfew on the residents of the Adinam. Not more than 4 could even stand to talk to each other anywhere in their own home. This was the illegal curfew imposed on private property and where the right to life was denied. Now, in the Jewish Holocaust also, we saw that even there, the prayers were absolutely banned by the Nazi forces, and all of the Jewish people had to do their prayers, their rituals in hiding. In the same way, during these days, all of the residents inside of the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham, while it was taken over by the government forces, people had to do puja in hiding and not even be able to talk to their family members. And here we're seeing another media article where the CM orders sealing of the Nithyananda Ashram. On the 12th of June 2012, state persecuting the victim rather than the perpetrator of the crime to task, the chief minister orders for the monastery to be sealed. And here the CM ordered the sealing of Nithyananda Ashram. And this meant that the ordered the district administrator to work out plans to seize the temple land and ordered the regional commissioner to use a heavy hand and ordered the state police to seize temple assets and property. And again, we're seeing the media articles here. We're saying not Nithya is Viradi land the target and arrest Nithya, follows ashram and orders the CM. These are media articles that were publicized during that time. And here we're seeing the plan to make the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism helpless, homeless, and resourceless. On the 5th of March 2010, this is a clipping from Dinakaran newspaper where it says the Internal Affairs Minister, Secretary of the Interior of the atheistic state government of Tamil Nadu, announced that the government would take over private temple monastery complex of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the following days, on 11th, 12th, and 12th June of the 2012 attack, the search, seize, and enforce curfew was implemented. Without investigation, without following the law, without even needing anything. Yes. And on the 11th and 12th of June, we saw the state police seizes the temple property, seals the monastery, enforces a curfew, and displaces hundreds of residents. On the 11th of June, the superintendent of state police illegally raided the temple with 100 officers from several government departments. And administrative units of the temple monastery complex illegally sealed the ashram. As you can see, these locks were put in place by the enforcement and who had literally been trying to ensure that all of the residents of the Adinam were not even able to go inside the rooms of their own Adinam, of their own home. On the 13th of June, we saw illegal arrest and again illegal arrest of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism came to court for anticipatory bail and for a fabricated offense that too bailable, surprisingly, it was adjourned to the next day, deliberately leaving open for the pre-planned arrest of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The illegal arrest of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism paraded the media mafia by the police, kept in an undisclosed location. And here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being literally hounded by the media mafia and the police as he was arrested illegally.
மீண்டும் போலீசாரால் கைது செய்யப்பட்டுள்ளார்.
Absolutely terrifying footage of so many henchmen, armed people inside of the mob, and somehow the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being able to make it just a 10-foot distance from the police station entrance to the car that was supposed to take him and supposed to safeguard him. But during this time, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's life was in the hands of the anti-Hindu militant forces. And this footage is absolutely terrifying. What makes each and every one of us feel so, which makes each and every one of us absolutely terrified at what could have happened in just one wrong move, one hand movement gone wrong, or anything. We can really see here how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is literally being manhandled, pushed, pulled by the anti-Hindu militant forces. And the superintendent, on the 13th of June, the superintendent of the police, Anupam Agarwal, had grabbed hold of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in this photograph as if to pose to mainstream media mafia and to legitimize the off-the-grid illegal detainment, which was called protective custody. In the legal language, mainstream media aired false news claiming the illegal arrest was related to the fake, false rape allegation. These 600 policemen pushed the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism into a car and took him to an undisclosed location. The state, on the chief minister's orders, mobilized a 600 battalion paramilitary force and fueled in the 3 crore rupees, or $500,000, for the unlawful Baudi arrest and parade of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism throughout the Bangalore city, to falsely project him as a criminal. This was the main plot points of the genocide attack by the state police media access. And over 600 police personnel were stationed within the court premises in 2-pronged attack mode. On the orders of the chief minister, a battalion of 600 men, paramilitary police forces, and additional forces were deployed to illegally arrest the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Then they paraded him throughout the city to showcase as if the big terrorist had been arrested. Again, $500,000 of public taxpayers' money was spent on this exercise. And how the state executes second unlawful arrest. Here. In an article on the 13th of June, 2012, it executes the second unlawful arrest. Here we can see this article. Have you ever heard of any religious leader or Supreme Pontiff being illegally arrested? Have you ever heard of such a leader being illegally arrested twice for false allegations? And here we have an article. Oh, we can go back to the left. Here we have an article where it says, during the arrest last week and subsequent release, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had over 800 policemen on duty. The cost, which was rupees 15 lakh, all this for a man who was accused of rape. The Bangalore police said when Sonia Gandhi came to Bangalore, there are about 700 to 800 cops on duty for that too, and only for a big function and thousands who are gathering. Can we just see why 800 policemen were deployed in order to illegally detain a peaceful sannyasi? What were they trying to do? Why were they trying to do it? The next slide, please. It shows here that this was a full-blown attack, a planned attack against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And here it says, Inspector General of Police Bhaskar Rao confirmed to Express that Supreme Pontiff has remained in judicial custody and is being shifted. He said, today we have deployed over 600 policemen personnel inside the court. We cannot risk keeping him in Ramanagara for security reasons. Why are they trying to make a peaceful sadhu, a sannyasi, somebody who has dedicated his whole life in service of humankind, into such a violent being? Why does there need to be 600 to detain someone so peaceful? Yes, we can go on to the next one. Here we have how the lawyer of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had been denied to serve the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. He humbly pleaded by himself in front of the district magistrate, I am not disturbing public peace, but if you feel that me being here is going to disturb the public peace, I will stay away from Bidadi. I will not have any press meet. This is what this heartbreaking photograph is showing. And on the 15th of June 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was illegally detained. He was not allowed to perform the 2,000-year-old unbroken daily religious ritual as the pontiff of the most ancient papal state in the world. Never before, even during the past 2,000 years of various invasions of India, this sacred ritual had been stopped. And another article where it shows Nithyananda devotees filed habeas corpus petition because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was literally kidnapped by so many different authorities, and even the devotees did not even know where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was. They were pushed to file a habeas corpus. The next slide, please. On the 15th of June, we saw the actions taken for bail. The bail was secured for the release of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And again, we're seeing how the pillars of Hinduism are being attacked. Three major sections of society, which paradoxically today are labeled as the vulnerable or weaker sections of society, are women, children, and monks. In Hinduism, they're in fact the foundation pillars of society. Researchers in the editorial journal published in British Medical Journal wrote how rape has been historically used as a strategic weapon. Very clearly, the editorial mentions this as a strategy to eliminate or cleanse religious or political groups. In the Tamil month of Vaikamsi, the tyrant King Alauddin Khilji of Delhi Sultanate sent his commander Malik Kafur to attack and loot the Ranganatha Swami temple in Srirangam. And in 1323, the tyrant King Khilji of the Delhi Sultanate sent his army to the Ranganatha Swami temple, and this attack killed 13,000 people. However, sacrifice of just less than 70 Devadasis led by Velle Ammal stopped this massacre. The army of the Sultanate looted a lot of gold from the temple. However, the army also wanted to seize the deity of Lord Ranganatha Namperumal, which they believed was made of pure Arbanji gold. And the Vaishnavite Acharya, Pillai Lokacharya, decided to safeguard the Lord Ranganatha Nam Perumal, Bhagavan Mahavishnu, the deity, and he concealed himself and planned an escape along with the deity to Madurai. Similarly, it was planned that the goddess Ranganayaki or Mahalakshmi would be taken to another location by a separate group. And to protect Lord Ranganatha, Vellayammal gave the ultimate sacrifice. Fearing the forces would capture the Acharya and the deity, Vellayya distracted the commander by performing a dance. She performed the dance for several hours and thus gained time for the Acharya, Pillai Lokacharya, to escape with the deity of Lord Ranganatha. Her dance lasted for hours together. And the commander touched her, something which a chaste dasi of Lord Ranganatha could never tolerate. Like this, finally, she took the commander to the eastern Gupuram and pushed him down. The commander fell and died. After killing him, Vellayammal jumped off the tower and chanting the name of Ranganatha. Meanwhile, the enemy's army used mechanical devices to throw large amount of oil. 69 Devadasis doused themselves in oil, immolated themselves, and jumped down on the invading army, setting them afire. The ferocious sacrifice of these Hindu Devadasis' mothers protected the temple and stopped the massacre of any more people. And it was due to this sacrifice, the sacrifice of one woman, that saved so many people. Now, it has come time, in order to get ready for the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, let us sit with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line and chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nanda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda